they'll tell you like, okay, you've got to pay £150 this month, blah blah blah, whatever.
But you're not getting to the
And
actual thing, are you?
yeah, and I would pay it. No, the interest wasn't like a problem, but I would pay it,
Right.
and then the next day immediately I'd spend it on something else.
Right.
So it was never getting any lower.
Right. Okay. You just bring up the credit and just fill it up again straight away.
Yeah. So I asked them to
not the best way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I asked them to freeze the card, which they did, and now just make the payments. But then, literally, when I get paid from the new job, straight away I'm just going to clear the card. I'm not going to close it because that'll just like negatively impact my credit record. But
oh yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But
I'm going to ask them to keep it
crazy.
Cool.
What's up, guys? What's up, Ranch MMA? How you doing? Ranch Mama, sorry. How you doing? So you're talking a lot in chat. You've been very helpful recently. How you doing, Ranch? How's Maya doing?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our weekly podcast. I have here with me Chris. Chris is a certified personal trainer with over a decade years worth of experience. Raise your hand if you have any questions. Do not be shy. There is no question to... Oh, we've got one already. Don't be shy, mate. Leave your hand raised. W's Nizzle. I don't know. Sorry, mate, if I don't know how to pronounce your name. Feel free to come up to ask a question. Voice is much preferred. Don't worry, it just makes well for a good podcast. No questions is too big. While we're waiting for people to raise their hand, Chris, I do have a question. So someone at the gym recently asked me about creatine, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't know how to respond to it. So let's say there's a gym newbie, someone who is a teenager. Can they take creatine? What is the benefit of creatine? Do they have to take creatine? I pretty much just told them the basic, that it helps you store water in your muscles. I might have butchered it, but I just said research into it just in case I didn't give any misinformation. So over to you, experts. And sorry to the kid, mate. I tried.
No worries. So you got the broad strokes right. So creatine occurs in ready meat products, basically. So you get creatine in your diet, but you do supplement it to have the full amount for our muscles. So when you have creatine, it makes your muscles store more water. It also makes your production of ATP more efficient. So when you're pushing hard, you can push harder in your muscle building sets. So you can push harder, maybe get an extra rep or two out of an 8 rep set, something like that, to which over time increases your ability to progressive overload, increases more muscle stimulation, and hopefully muscle growth. Creatine, just take it normally. There's big fear out it, but creatine is probably the most well-tested and researched fitness supplement. There is a big misconception because of one study years and years ago that makes you go bald. It may accelerate if you already have that tendency, but if you've got full normal head of hair, it's not make a difference to you at all. It'll make you can store a bit more water, so you may look a bit more bloated, but that's good. A bit more weight behind you, so you can push more weights. So it will increase. Also, rumors or myths that it will damage your kidneys. This isn't true as long as you have enough water in your diet. So drink enough water generally, but generally we say if you have 5 grams of creatine per day, which is the recommended supplement additional amount to have an extra 100 milliliters of water per gram of creatine. So simple maths, extra. If you have 5 grams of creatine supplemented a day, have an extra 500 milliliters of water. That will take care of your needs for it. No problem at all. There are more increasing studies of creatine in adults for cognition and for your brain health, which are much higher percentage, much higher grams servings of creatine. Rhonda Patrick talks about this a lot. I won't talk about that at the moment because I'm not an expert on that. But for a teenager, you absolutely can take creatine. There's no problem with it. But there's also no necessity to have you. No one needs to take creatine at all. So don't worry about it. If you want to take it, you can. That's fine. But it's not going to be make or break as long as you do the basic. Train hard, have a good program, eat well, sleep. You don't need creatine at all. I've personally never taken creatine at all. Hasn't held me back yet.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that, mate. I'll make sure just to clip this up and send it to him because I wouldn't be able to articulate it as well as you did. Musaki, mate, feel free to ask your question.
Yo, hello.
First how you doing?
Good. I'm gonna repeat my question from last Saturday because I was kind of drunk and barely remember what I asked properly.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
So, first of all, let's say you're gonna be taking, let's say, for school, packing lunch for school. And let's say you wanna do something more like yogurt, something that is like kind of liquidy, but not straight water or something like that. Like what what would you suggest? Like I carry the stuff, like I've thought about maybe
Mhm.
getting like a lunchbox that's more like reinforced, let's say, or putting it in like a shake cup or whatever it's called. So what would you suggest, and have you tried anything like that?
Yeah, interesting. So bringing kind of liquidy foods when you go into work or to a job or school or anything can be a challenge. Don't want to burst in your bag or anything. The first thing I would say is it's a bit more expensive and it's obviously not good for the environment, but do look for single serving things for yogurt and things like that. You get little pouches in any supermarket really that's going to be more convenient. You can then just have it and chuck it out afterwards. Outside of that, you could have, like you said, a protein shaker and take a very secure lid for that, or a thermos flask, or the option, like you said, would be like a super safe, reinforced, maybe cling film wrapped lunchbox. But yeah, it can be a challenge bringing things like liquids in a bag, especially when it can be traveled around and maybe jumbled about. But those are the things I'd try.
Yeah, the other question was with like, again with lunch boxes, but this time with the cutlery. So let's say I have a spoon, fork, whatever. Usually, let's say after I have eaten, I don't mind putting them in the box, but the stuff is greasy, and like I wonder where it's best to put the cutlery, because I don't mind eating with greasy hands, but eating with greasy cutlery is a no-no.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So bring it normally, and then you can either wrap it up in some kitchen towel and put it. I would wrap up a kitchen towel, then put it in a plastic bag, sealed plastic bag. You're done for that one. That keeps it discreet. It keeps it away from all your school books or anything else you need. So anything you can seal will be a great thing for it. A little plastic bag is probably the best thing you can do for it.
Yeah, I'm just worrying because it can cut, like just my keys have managed to make a hole into my back compartments, like between two of them, but
Okay.
that doesn't really matter.
I've not really found the issue before. I used to take food to school way back in the day, obviously. I would just bring a fork and just shut it in the plastic box afterwards, to be honest. Obviously, we're not meant to say eat plastics. We're meant to say, no microplastics or anything if possible. But I think just seal it up and just wash it up afterwards. Just make sure it doesn't damage your stuff or make it a mess anywhere is the main thing. Unless you want to put it in something like, I don't know, if you have another protein shaker or like a thermos flask, you may put it in there and then just keep that
I
sealed
have
separate.
wondered whether they are like boxes with, like separate compartments, but they're either too big or like they're split in half, and leaving the half of the space just for the cutlery is kind of of an overkill.
Okay, you could look into. I know my sister has them, like foldable or small cutlery. You can get little like travel packs and make fold down really small. Look into foldable
Yeah,
cutlery.
but
That could be a good way to
it's
get
good
around it.
to keep in mind that I place the food in like maybe the mid-size compartment of my bag, so it's not like I can bring a whole like lunch box. Another question is, it's kind of like material that a lot of people argue about: pasteurized milk or raw milk, because a lot of people are fucking crying about like raw milk is more available, blah blah blah. Even my friend have started drinking raw milk, and he cried about it because he drank pasteurized milk, and he said that his stomach started hurting because he maybe was used to, or what. Like some people say bullshit, like raw milk is more bioavailable, stuff like that. Like at this time, and there's a lot of other foods. Like let's say one video I see that broccoli has a lot of zinc. It's very good. Other video I see that broccoli is fucking shit. Like it's very poorly bioavailable. One video I see that meat and eggs are very good protein stuff. Other video I see that they give you a lot. One video I see that carbohydrates are very good. They're pretty much pre-workout. Other stuff like that, they are bad for losing fat and like losing, let's say, face fat. I don't even know what to eat, man. At this point, I'm gonna be fucking.
Understand? Yeah, completely. So this is it's one of the big issues. Yeah. So I think you're in a quite normal position. This is very normal for when social media goes crazy and people do it for clicks, people do it for attention. So we can break this down really clearly if you want. We can go talk about a topic if you like. If you're going to have a dairy product, have it pasteurized. We're not, trying to get sick. When you have unpasteurized milk, raw milk, it's not safe. You can't control what's in it. Even if you find a very safe source of it, things can still slip into it and make you sick. Pasteurization is a very safe process. If you have milk or dairy that is pasteurized, absolutely fine. It's not going to make you sick if you go from randomly having unpasteurized milk to pasteurized. It's safe. It kills the germs. You can talk about not being raw or primal or whatever you want for it. Not what we do back in, the caveman days. Also remember those people died in like maybe their 30s. So I wouldn't recommend having raw dairy at all. It's not worth the risk reward for it. It's not going to be, the risk reward is so small. Even if it is mildly more bioavailable, you can get slightly more protein out of the gram for it. It's not worth being sick and knocking yourself out of the gym for weeks at a time. It's really not worth the risk. So anyone's talking to you to only eat raw dairy, they've drink too much to Kool-Aid, bad idea. Meat and eggs are good for you, but again, they're not magical. They contain proteins, they contain other micronutrients. You can get iron, you can get all sorts of good things from these things. But again, they're not magic. You can have alternatives. You can have vegetarian protein sources. You can have vegan protein sources. Your body doesn't know that much of a difference. They may be slightly more bioavailable, but it's not going to be make or break a difference. If you get 200 grams of protein, for example, from meat or from one, it's great. If you have 100 grams of protein from non-meat sources, also going to be great. Just make sure you give your body a variety of sources to eat and nourish yourself. Fill up those nutritional gaps. I would much rather you try to fill in your micronutrient gaps than worry about having raw dairy or things like that. On carbohydrates are great. They always go around in a cycle of carbohydrates being this evil thing that makes you fat and things. In realistic terms, carbohydrates are very good for you. Carbohydrates are one of the main sources of energy, subtoxic. And I would rather you have, when you sort a diet out, every time we do it for a client, we work out, we sort the protein out, we sort the total calories, we fit the protein in. Then we have a minimal amount of fats that we need, which is lower than most people think, because we can actually generate some fat from our fat stores as well. I wouldn't worry too much about fat. And then the rest is filled up with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the most bountiful, most readily available supply of energy for your workouts. I think most people benefit from having carbohydrates before the workout and fast carbohydrates directly after with some protein. They won't make you fat. The total calories will make you fat or not. And fats, if you have excess of fats in your diet, they are more likely to be stored as body fat anyway. So carbohydrates are not the enemy. Carbohydrates, you should be prioritizing carbohydrates after protein in your diet. I think that's most things. Toxic, do you want to give a quick breakdown of why raw dairy is a bad idea, or have I had to that enough?
No, well, anyone who's ever been on a cow farm will tell you that cows are not hygienic animals. They piss and they shit everywhere, and those things are generally not very good to the things that grow in shit is generally not things we want to eat. So the pasteurization of dairy is one of the single greatest advances in healthcare that humanity has invented. Before, people died frequently from getting sick from dairy, and once we figured out that if we just heat the stuff slightly, then all the bad stuff dies, then all of a sudden people started living longer and thriving. So do stay away from unpasteurized dairy. There are no benefits, none. There are only drawbacks. Even the best, most perfectly well-run farm, once it gets big enough, I think you are somewhere like 8. Based on my last reading of American statistics, which is America, so not completely applicable, but recent, but relatively, people who drink unpasteurized dairy are like 850 times more likely to get a foodborne illness than people who stick to pasteurized. There are no benefits, none, to drinking unpasteurized dairy compared to pasteurized. There's not more protein, there are not more nutrients. You just kill off the bad stuff that wants you dead. There are no benefits to unpasteurized dairy for normal people. So stay away. If you have enough money to consider buying raw milk, buy more milk instead and get your protein in that way. There is no benefit.
Yeah, I think part of the problem why it's way more likely these times the milk to be bad is because there's a lot of dirty cows in one place. It's the same with medieval humans, because people who were living like a stationary life, it was way easier to get diseases. So I think it's the same for cows because it's not natural for them to be into one place all day and night and stuff like that.
Yeah, commercial farming is a separate thing, but I think we kind of nailed it that raw dairy is really not worth the risk reward for it. Also, sorry guys, I got my food, so I'm still going to answer your questions, but I'm going to eat as I go. Having a balanced diet involves not having everything healthy at all times. This is on my 20%. My 80% is clean, healthy. This is my 20% that is not.
Can we get a
Yeah, okay,
macro
that's all.
breakdown first? Sorry to interrupt you guys. Can we get a macro breakdown? No?
Not about macro breakdown, but it's Five Guys, so it's probably not a great macro breakdown. There's been lots of carbohydrates, lots of fats, which will fit into my diet as a whole. Again, even if I wanted to be anal about it, I could say I'll look at my diet over the full week instead of over this day. But having some high fats and high carbs in one day, ultra processed foods is not going to kill you. It's probably better for your gut biome to be able to break these things down. So actually, I'm doing my gut a service here by having a variety of foods in order to have a diverse gut macro environment in order to be able to digest foods in future.
Did Musaki leave halfway through that? That's insane. But yeah, that's a really good breakdown, Chris. And I do appreciate that because there are a bunch of people who feel like when you get into fitness, you only have to eat like extremely healthy all the time. There needs to be a balance. You can enjoy what you do. Otherwise, you might lose interest. W.S. Neil? Sorry, mate. How are you doing? Feel free to ask your question. I'm sorry I butchered your name. I'm an absolute moron. Are you still here? If not, we might have to switch to Mimi if she can remember a question from last week. You here, mate? You talk? Nope. Okay, Mimi, the floor is yours. You have an opportunity to ask your question. It's not towards the end of the podcast, so the floor is yours. Go on. As promised from last week.
Bro, what did we talk about last week? I do not remember a single thing.
Hi, Mimi. Hi, Mimi. How are you doing?
Bro, how did
Hello,
you yap for like 5 hours and don't even remember like the first
That was
sentence?
I joined late. What do you mean
We know.
5
We
hours?
know. We were here. We were here.
Okay. I'm doing good. I just came back from my referee training.
Oh yeah, how'd it go? Is this for taekwondo?
Yeah, I applied to become a referee and we had the first day of course today. Unfortunately, it seems we will not have tomorrow, which would be the second day, because the master that's teaching us, his father died today. So that means no more course for a little bit, which is, of course, I feel really bad because like we were eating dinner, right? And I was just explaining to my family, like, I don't want to go tomorrow because I was, worrying about, because we have tests tomorrow. We would have, of course. And I was like, I was worrying, and then I grabbed my phone, and then that message just pops up, and I'm like, dang, really bad timing. But I don't really remember what we were talking about last week. If you remember, can you just remind me so then I can
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
First and foremost, really sorry to hear about your coach. I hope, prayers and blessings to them and their family. But basically, we were talking about how you really wanted to get into Taekwondo and you really wanted to get into like being active in things you enjoy, but you felt like responsibilities in your family and also issues with your health was preventing you from doing it. We were suggesting you to get more into like the coaching and the support side of things, where you might not be an active participant of those sports or events, but you can still enjoy the environment and the culture of it. And it was more of like a mental health and, check up on like, just advising you on what you needed to do. That's pretty much where we got up to.
Oh, I think I remember, yeah. Because I think we were talking about my knee and then I popped up to that. And then I think, was it the same coach that's right here? Toxic? I think he mentioned something about me like taking a break or something, and I told him like no, because Taekwondo is like everything for me. Is it around those lines, right? I think I remember this. But yeah, for the coaching, I did forget to mention a little bit. Basically you can't do official like coaching type of thing. Like I am a master because I am a black belt, but you are not like officially coaching someone. Like I teach, but I'm not officially teaching if I don't have a course. I was gonna take that course, but I was only aware of it the day that I had to pay, and you have to pay 250 euros to sign up for the course. And I was like, yeah, I do not have 250 euros right now. So apart from everything that I've mentioned last weekend that also has that issue, right now I did forget to mention I am taking I did forget to mention last weekend, because I already knew last weekend I was going to do this referee course that is for PUMSED, which is technique. Like I told you guys, that is my best category, is technique. So I am doing that right now to see if I can go referee some competitions and stuff. Apart from that, I have been going to practices, despite, of course, having issues at home and stuff. I have been going to practices. Of course, I have to leave a lot earlier than I used to, because now I don't depend on my father picking me up. I depend on buses. And unfortunately, it seems I only have one bus, which is at 8:13, and practice ends at like almost 9. So that means I'm leaving practice like 30-40 minutes earlier than everyone, and that upsets me a lot, because the moment I want to practice more is the moment that I can't, so yeah. But apart from that, I've been trying really hard. I also have asked a few people to take me home, because I want to stay there longer. Of course, it's not their responsibility to do so. I'm not their responsibility. But yeah, I've been trying my best to try and go to the practices no matter what. Nice, Chris, I saw that. And yeah, about my mental health, I have been a lot better. Of course, I still have some issues at school with some people. I've lost with my mental issues and my stuff at home, I lost a lot of my patience. So I started being way too honest with people, and a lot of people have not liked it for me, because I'm not that type of person. So of course, I've been having a lot of issues at school with people, because I ended up telling them things that so for example, I don't like stuff they do, right? But I'm the type of person that I'm not going to tell them, because I'm a people pleaser, and you guys know that. But I had a phase when I started having the issues at home. I had no patience for people. So whenever people came up to me and started being a bitch, I would just straight up tell them everything they've done in their life that was wrong. And they didn't like that. But,
What are the odds?
I have my limits. I almost fought with someone as well.
That's not good, Mimi. That's not good. But you're more regulated now, are you? You're more regulated. You're feeling more balanced. You're feeling healthier.
Yeah, but it was not I controlled myself not to fight. The thing was it was a few days after I found out about my dad. So I was really on the low, and this person was testing my patience every single day. And she supposedly was my friend, so that was what made it worse, is that my friend was disrespecting me, and she knew my situation. So then my anger issues were just they were hidden for a long time, but then after a lot of issues, you just kind of explode. And she made me explode, and I warned her, do not piss me off, do not piss me off. And she started yelling at me, and I do not allow people to yell at me, of course, just my parents. And yeah, I got a little bit mad, a little bit to the point that I almost punched her in the face. But I controlled myself, you know what I mean?
Good. As we don't condone violence, even if people are annoying. Especially as a trained martial artist as well. I'm sure you're extra restrained. So I'm sure when I did karate and kickboxing, they made a big point of saying you are trained now. You're not to go and use other people. You actually show more restraint and discipline.
Yeah. Also in Taekwondo, even though you do not use punches a lot, you are basically anyone that does martial arts. You're not supposed to be in fights. Issue is if you use any technique from your if you use any technique from your martial arts, you can get expelled from doing them. That means
that's why you went to punch them rather than kick them. I see. So you had a loophole. You thought Taekwondo is kicking. If I punch this person in the face, technically, it's nothing to do with Taekwondo, and it's fine. I can do this guilt-free. I cannot be expelled because I didn't technically use my training for evil.
No, but no, you don't understand. I mean, you do understand, but yeah, you know what I mean? it's a lot difficult when you're like trying to control yourself and try to love yourself for a very long time, and people keep bringing you down all the time. And that's what she was doing to me. But since I was a people pleaser at the time, right now I am not, because I have no patience, like I said, it all came up, and she was the first one to piss me off. So it all came up on her, because that was the first like situation that I had that I was like, dang, it's really bad, you know. But I did talk with my therapist, and she told me we're gonna talk and we're gonna, you know, try our best to fix these, because I'm not even supposed to have anger issues at my age. Like, that's not even supposed to happen. I'm not even supposed to get triggered this easily. Like, someone yelling at me should not trigger me to the point I feel the need to hit them. You know, like, violence is never the issue, the fix. So she told me, like, yeah, we need to talk and we need to fix the way you handle things, because if you're gonna get mad every time someone yells at you, like, in the future, that will, you know, get you into problems.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's a good point, because life could be challenging and you can be led to unstable emotions. It can make lasting actions that have lasting consequences. So it's good to be aware of that and to not act on them. And I think a lot of people think because someone annoyed me, it's okay to hit them or make like a violent action or respond in a certain way. And that's not how we conduct ourselves. That's not good for anyone. It's not a healthy way for either person in the situation, is it?
Yeah, I think a good thing that I also like noticed was that when I saw that I was getting upset, the first thing I did, like, even when she was still talking, I turned around and I left, because like, no matter if you're still talking to me and I already know that I'm gonna explode, it's best for me to turn around and leave rather than explode in front of you, and maybe the worst can happen, you know. So for anyone out there that has any anger issues, anything like that, if you feel you're getting mad, just turn around, go away, because I cried. The moment I turned around, I started crying, because whenever I'm angry, I start crying, okay? I started crying, but at least it wasn't in front of her, to the point that her face in front of me when I was having that attack could provoke me even more, even if she wasn't doing anything, you know? But yeah, apart from this, about my hip, I'm sorry if I'm taking too long, I'm really sorry, but about my hip.
You know many words. You know many words, Mimi, but succinct isn't one of them.
I mean, there's only one person with their hand up, so I guess it's fine if I take long.
I'll get comfortable. It's fine. I'll get comfortable.
Okay, you have a bed behind you. It's fine. About my hip.
Yes, your hip, please.
Stop laughing, Ayo. Every time I look at you, it makes me laugh. Okay. So about my hip,
I've not said a single thing. I've been listening. I've been supportive. I even remember the questions from last week. Can you imagine? I didn't even remember.
You did. He's gone above and beyond.
I've gone above and beyond. I'm learning nowadays. I have to shut my mouth. My mouth on this Discord platform has way too much power. So, ask your questions. Go ahead.
Thank you. I mean, this is like the reward for me getting here early, right?
Big reward. Not our reward.
Okay, so about my hip, since I told you I've been going to practices only 2 times this week, because we had holiday on Monday. It doesn't feel as stiff anymore. Like, I didn't do anything special to it. It just doesn't feel as stiff anymore. But today I had, of course, that stabby feeling, but I feel like it's because of my flexibility. And why? Because on Friday I was practicing, of course, for my referee training, because as a referee you still have to do like the technique and stuff. So I was practicing, but I was not practicing with like full flexibility, with full strength, because I was just practicing to see if I remember the techniques, if everything is there, and it was just fine. I was not kicking too high, and it was just fine. But then today, of course, I had to give my all, because they're always like writing everything down. You know? So I noticed after a few high kicks with my right leg, I noticed, of course, the hip again getting stiff, like it was hurting.
Yeah.
And the issue was I couldn't stop because we were getting tested. Mm-hmm. So I feel like right now it's more stiff than before, because at the time when I'm in practice, I can just sit down and stop. But there, I couldn't, because then I could just get scratched off, and then you're done. No more referee for you. So I feel like that's a bad thing, but hopefully on Wednesday, when I try out again at practice, it will be better. I don't know if you have any comments, because I have another thing to say. Stop. I'm gonna shut up.
I'll get a few words in while at the moment. So what's your plan for recovery after this? If you're a bit sore today, you didn't push it a bit further because you didn't really have control of the situation. Do you have plans for resting tomorrow, rehabbing it, and try and take it easy again, recover that way? Because obviously we know pushing an injury is never a good idea. We should try to rest ideally if we can. Do you have a plan to recover and rest after this? Especially because you don't have the course tomorrow as well.
I don't have the course, like I mentioned, because the master.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Yes, we know. Yeah, we know. We covered that.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know nothing. So I did find out exercise. What the heck? That felt better on my hip. So I feel like I'm gonna start doing it more often, as well as it's easy to do at home. Like I can literally just be sitting in my bed and do it. And when I was doing it, I felt like it was getting, like, in a way extended. Like the muscle felt good, if that's a way to say it. I don't know. So I'm gonna do it, like, even tonight before going to bed, when I wake up, like, even as a way to stretch, like, of course, stretching when you wake up is a good thing. So yeah. I see someone else put their hand up, so I'm just gonna say my last thing really quickly. I have been again, and this is bad news, okay? I have been again struggling to eat. And as you remember, I had an eating disorder before. So I am a little bit scared, of course. I'm trying to not, like, let the fact that I had that before make me think that I'm gonna have it again, because then if you start thinking too much about it, it ends up happening. But of course, I'm a little bit worried because it is a really hard thing.
Yeah, it's natural. Yeah, it's reasonable to have concerns about that. Absolutely.
Because I think you guys remember when it was like the first podcast when we talked about me having that, and it was a really hard process. I had to take vitamins, I had to take everything. So I've been trying to force myself to eat, but I can't eat breakfast because I feel nauseous. Like I can't eat anything. I feel like puking, especially because I take public transportation. So then, of course, like in the bus and like the smells, everything makes me nauseous. For lunch, every time I eat lunch, I don't know what happens with my stomach, but I feel like puking. And then for dinner, I just don't feel like eating. So then at the end of the day, you go and see what I have eaten, and it's nothing, literally nothing, because every time I eat, I feel nauseous. And that's worrying me a little bit. Do you have any, of course, you're not a doctor. I'm going to mention it again. You're not a doctor. But since you've already helped me with the situation before, like given me little advices, what would you advise in a situation like this, especially for someone who has had an eating disorder before?
I mean, I can absolutely answer. I think Toxic probably ideally suited to answer this question.
So if the question is how do I make sure I get something in me in the start of the day as a way to get enough total food in me without it taking up too much space or being uncomfortable or getting in the way of how I would like to live my day, some people are just not big on breakfasts. Some people are apparently more sensitive to being full in the morning. I myself am one of them. I'm not a huge breakfast person. Some people are, I'm not. So in that case, if you absolutely have to get something in, you could, if looking at other meals aren't an option, like for example, having a bigger lunch or having more snacks in between breakfast and lunch, then I would say try to look at, just to reduce the discomfort, I would say perhaps try something liquid instead. So have a smoothie, a shake, something instead of like a big meal you have to chew a lot to get down, something that's either blended or stewed or easier to get down. that'll probably, it'll also pass through your stomach quicker, so you won't feel so full for as long. Then there's always, more snacks or more smaller meals. Make sure to bring something you can pack in your bag on the way to school or on the way to practice, so that you can transport yourself and eat something and multitask at the same time. Other than that, you could try to compensate by having bigger meals, or make the rest of your meals bigger, so bigger lunch, bigger dinner. You could always go to, having the occasional Five Guys burger every now and then. They're 80% reasonable, 20% more enjoyable. Having some food items that are higher calorie can help. Eating faster, but usually also makes people more uncomfortable, so that might not be appropriate in your case. But yeah, try any of. Do you think any one of those could be doable?
I think, yeah. I think at the time, Chris also suggested something liquid. I think so, many times actually. Because I think I also mentioned that I couldn't eat before practice because I felt nauseous. I don't know if Chris remembers that. And he also mentioned the shakes and stuff like that. And to be fair, I have not tried them. I can, of course, try to implement them into my... I'm sorry. I know it's been like a really, really long time.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Because I do not have like any type of blender at home. We don't eat that much fruit. And also, of course, with my dad not being able to go out and buy fruits, it's a little bit harder now, but I will be trying to ask my grandma, because we also live with her, so I will be trying to implement that into my diet. Thing is, like, sometimes my issue is I look too much at myself, and I feel like that's also an issue with a lot of people that struggle to eat. Is it's not always just the eating disorder itself, is also the way you look at yourself in the mirror, and I'm starting to have that again, and then when those two issues add up, you just like, so for example, every time, sorry, I don't know if you want to cut off and then I'll just continue.
No, I just want to say, obviously it's challenging, but I do think in situations like this, and hopefully Tox will back me up on this, if you're really not feeling well and you're hard to get any food in, just any food you get in your system is good. Any net energy you can get in is a positive. So if anything sounds appealing to you, even if you doesn't think it sounds like a healthy thing to do, if you think, oh, it's not the best thing, maybe it's not got much micronutrients, getting something in your system is more important than anything else. So you do need to give yourself fuel. So anything that sounds appealing, absolutely eat it. You may think it's sugary. Having some sugar in your system is better than having nothing in your system at all. Hopefully Tox will back me up on that one.
Yeah. Getting food in is number one. If you don't eat, you can't perform, and anything that helps you perform is therefore better than nothing. So if there's some particular food you like, but I shouldn't, well, yes, you should. If the alternative is nothing, then you eat what you can.
Yeah. What I was mentioning is, I think my issue is every time I eat, I tend to find a place where I can see myself. For example, every time I eat at school, I go, like, after eating, I don't go puke or anything, but I go to the bathroom, and what is there in the bathroom? A mirror.
Mirrors, yeah.
And then you look at yourself and you're like, ew, what is this? And I'm not even fat.
Yeah.
Like, I can say that I'm not fat, but then, it's just that look of after eating that you look in the mirror and you're like, this does not look good in here,
Yeah.
This little doesn't look good. Also, those little jokes your friends make, especially those little jokes that people make, like pulling your fat, or like poking their finger in your stomach and stuff like that. Those are jokes that I take to heart, because for someone that's like struggling with food, and then someone's like pulling my fat as a joke, blah, blah, blah. I'm just sitting there, I'm like,
yeah, they don't sound like very supportive friends. They don't sound like the kind of people you should really want to be around, and it's hard, and being young, it's difficult, but I think just be clear with them, saying this is making me uncomfortable. It may be funny as a joke to you, but can you just give me some space? I need a bit of time for myself. Like, I can understand why they would think it's funny, and it's probably meant lighthearted. But if you're in a state where you're worried about how you look and your health, and everything like that, which everyone goes through at some point, I think just be honest with them and say, I need a break from it. Please I understand it's lighthearted, but please give me a break for a bit, and I'll feel better about it, because it's definitely easy to take lighthearted comments are meant as a joke as take it to heart, and that can lead you to a dark place mentally, and it leads you to bad food choices and diet choices. So I do think if you can stay away from that, and the mirror thing is very difficult. Just so you know, no one looks great after eating food. You just see me right now. I won't show you live on camera, but I'm full of food. I'm full of water. I'm a bit distended. Probably going to get, full of sodium and stuff short term. But hey, it's part of a balanced diet and healthy. It's going to add to my nutritional, diet compliance in the long run. No one looks the most flattering after eating food. So if you can avoid putting yourself in those difficult situations, I think you should do that at all costs if possible. It's not worth it. Even if it's just wearing some baggy sweater or something just over yourself so you don't have the temptation to look. No one looks best after eating. And anyone on Instagram, you don't see people on Instagram who've just after they've eaten food, you've seen them after they've, photoshopped the photo to all hell and also gone dangerous diets and taken supplements and or surgeries that we're not aware of. So please give us some slack. Human beings are not meant to look the most aesthetic directly after eating. No one does. If anyone says they do, it's absolute nonsense. Hopefully that's something towards it. But putting yourself in a challenging situation is not going to help.
Yeah, I've been trying to remind myself. Also, my actual more close friends, they have noticed that I stopped eating. So they're like kind of forcing me to eat, which is good. So I've been revolving myself around those friends. Not to just to finish off, it's not a question or anything, but I will be seeing my family doctor because of my cardiology exams. But I will also mention about my stomach because it could be an issue. Because it's not normal for you to feel nauseous, for you to need to puke, for you to every time you eat. And I've noticed that because I have never had that before. So I will be talking to her about it and see if there's anything wrong. If maybe like I'm intolerant to some things I'm eating, like anything. It could literally be anything. So yeah, thank you guys. I will have to go, but thank you so much for having me for 40 minutes talking. Okay, you guys are amazing for hearing me talk for 40 minutes. Hello.
Oh,
love you, Mimi.
no,
Thank you for
really?
checking in.
Do you have to go? Oh, how unfortunate.
Yes.
No, all jokes
Thank
aside,
you.
thank you very much for the questions.
Love you, Mimi.
I'm certain there are
Love
people
you,
in
bye.
the audience
Take
that
care.
want to ask it. So have a great day. Bye-bye. Cool. WS Nail. Sorry, mate. Feel free to ask your question.
Hello?
Hi there, how you doing?
How you guys doing, bro?
Well, thank you. How can I help you?
I have a few simple questions. It won't take a lot. And
Yeah, perfect.
it's just a simple problem I've been having.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. We got you.
All right. What should a 16-year-old calorie intake be? And is bulking a myth?
Oh, he's no
Very
simple
simple
questions. And
questions.
very simple. And he hit me with 16-year-old calories and is bulking a myth. So calories will depend. I'm sure AJ just put a helpful link in for your calorie intake, but you have to work out based on your height and your activity and things. But as a teenager, you should be trying to eat food, a wide variety of diet. So you can work it out from based on your height and things like that, and your body fat percentage and all sorts of weight and things like that.
Based on
I
the
can't give you a
height.
straight answer. Yeah, so if you use the calculators there and drop a message in fitness later, and we'll get back to you for more advice if necessary. But you need to do a few calculations before we get there. Bulking is a myth. No, it exists. Bulking it's a real thing. It exists out there. But do I think people should go on a big heavy bulk? No, I don't think that's a good idea. I think as a teenager, you should have a small surplus. But the thing is, having a 1,000 calorie surplus per day compared to say a 500 calorie surplus a day is not going to build more muscle, but it is going to build additional fat because your body can only generate so much muscle each day, but it can store as much fat as the extra calories you give it. So the idea is to have enough calories and protein to recover from the stimulation training you're doing. And then any additional calories beyond that is going to be stored as fat, which is fine in the short run. And 500 calories is enough to make sure you get the gains from it and maybe extra fat, but guaranteeing you have enough to build that muscle. So a big, massive surplus is not necessary. Maybe 500 is a good idea, especially if you're a teenager. And more you over bulk, it simply means the more fat you're going to get, the faster. So you're going to have to be bulking for a shorter period because you're going to get more uncomfortable. I want to drop weight faster, and that's not an efficient way to build muscle. So, yeah, I think I can give more details on that. But bulking is a real thing, but it's probably not a big, dirty bulk, especially a big, heavy bulk is not a thing you should be doing.
What about lean bulking? They talk about it too.
Sure. So lean bulking. So lean bulking is, well, anyway, well, the thing is, okay, quickly, just to get this down, because people think bulking and cutting are very different things. So
Yeah.
the training, I believe, for build, you should always be trying to train to build muscle. Okay, that's the consistent. So I don't really think your training should change a lot between bulking or cutting. The only
Okay.
difference is the calories you're going to get in. So in your bulking, you have a small surplus. So a lean bulk, maybe something like a 200 calorie surplus. So the idea for a lean bulk is to have just enough calories, like we said, to build the muscle without storing extra fat. That's the difference between that and a traditional bulk, which may be an extra, 500,000 calories over the top. So a lean bulk is trying to maximize the muscle gain whilst minimizing the fat gain from it, which can work. But if you're new to lifting, honestly, and you're not super great at counting your calories, you don't have necessarily locked in your metabolic rate, you don't know your maintenance calories. Sometimes if you aim for a lean bulk as starting, you're really under feeding yourself. Maybe your calorie maintenance is higher than you think it is. So if you only have a small surplus, you're still not reaching the full calories you need to grow properly. So generally, I think starting with 500 calories surplus is the best way. People may say it should be a leaner bulk, lower calories, but I think once you keep your eye on the scale for a few weeks, which is the only way you're going to know if it's working, is keeping an eye on the scale. Ideally, the best way to do this is to weigh yourself each day in the same conditions and then average it for the week. So each day, Monday through Sunday, and then divide that by 7 to have your average over the week. That's the best way for you to go on. As you get more advanced, I think things change a little bit, but if you're a beginner getting into it, I would start with 500 calorie surplus and see how your body responds to that. If you're getting more than £1 a week, I'd say maybe dial it back a little bit because you're probably, you've perhaps overestimated your calorie intake you need. But I think 500 is quite a sensible place to start. Toxic, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're pretty much on the money here. You asked how much calories should a 16-year-old eat? Well, are all 16-year-olds the same? Are they all equally tall? Do they all live in the same place? Are they equally active? No, they're not.
Of course not.
So we're all different. Yeah. So what we then do is that we to arrive at some sort of estimate for how much energy you should eat, we basically guess. Like we measure and we see, and then we can try to derive some sort of general formula. And for some people, that formula is going to fit better. For some, it's not going to fit very well. So we take that for like I see AO posted the TDEE link in the chat. So that is the starting point for where you can go. You put in your guesses of how tall you are and how old you are and how active you are, and that'll give you an estimate to start with. And then it's up to you to see, okay, I'll try to be here, and then I'll have to see on the scales after a week or two. And if you're suddenly shooting up in weight, then okay, then that number might have been too high. If you're suddenly seeing abs for the first time in your life, okay, maybe that number was too low. Then you have to gradually find the number that lets you move in the direction that you want. If you are, for example, very tall and very skinny, then gaining weight in a fast pace might be comfortable for you, because suddenly I don't feel like a scarecrow anymore. Whereas if you're on the slightly larger side, then maybe I don't really need to gain any weight. Maybe I should try to lose weight instead. Maybe I need to dial down my numbers at a different place. Ultimately, the only one who really knows your situation is going to be you. So if you compare yourself to someone else, then they might have very different numbers than you. Yeah. Right. So if the numbers on the calculators are different, that's well and fine. The only thing that's actually going to matter is, how is this number working for me? Because your life is your own, and your situation is independent, is different from everyone else's. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you said there's a difference between bulking and calorie surplus, you said, right?
So calorie surplus or deficit refers to basically whether are you eating more than you need or not. If you're eating more, you will gain weight, right? Now, then the question becomes, okay, do we want to gain any? Bulking is usually defined as eating more than you need while also trying really hard to gain muscle. Most people, when they're bulking, they want to gain muscle.
So traditionally, if you have a surplus, you would call it a bulk. If you're trying to have a calorie deficit, you call it a cut. Those are just general terms we'd use. So if someone says they're bulking, it means they're trying to build some muscle and gain some weight. They're cutting, they're trying to drop some body fat.
Yeah, makes sense.
Awesome. Is there any more questions? Anything we can clarify for that? We're here at your disposal for any questions you have.
I think that's it for now. I did have a few questions, but I forgot it.
Okay, no worries, man. If they come back, please let us know. And last question for you: how do you pronounce your name?
Now.
Now. Nail or now? Now?
Now.
Nail. Okay, we'll go for that. And how long have you been a server for, mate?
Okay.
Cool, you still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, how long have you been a server for? I don't think I've seen you around before. Are you new? Have you been around? Have I just been really ignorant to you?
Been like maybe a year. I don't know. Hold on.
Okay, have you been active in fitness, or have you decided to pop in today just to say hi?
I did start going to the gym like maybe since summer, maybe.
Okay, nice. How's it going for you so far?
It's good. My subscription did end, so I'm training at home now. But I'm gonna get
Okay,
back.
no worries. Okay, nice. I mean, you can make great progress at home, but having a gym, I find, is a good motivation. Even just going to a new environment to train in it. Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad to
good.
talk to you, mate. Hopefully I see you in fitness and enjoy the podcast again. It was a good chat with you.
I'll be good, guys.
Take it easy.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, really do appreciate you. I've also posted a link to some home workouts. There is Hampton in the server. Shout out to Hampton. So if you do have any questions around that, feel free to reach out to him either directly or through his server. He's actually a very open person. I have butchered the order. I do think it is blacked out metal. I don't know. Your name's truncated.
What is an easy one?
Method Fitness. How you doing, mate?
Well, Blackout Method Fitness.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing,
What's
man?
up, man? How
Feel free
you?
to ask a question.
All right, so I got a few questions.
Sure.
It's
Let's
like, okay, I had them written down. Let me find them real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright,
No problem at all.
All right, so starting off, just a bit of background about me. I'm in the U.S. military currently, and I'm I'm something called a H2F fitness coach, which is like a holistic health and fitness. So like just operating.
Nice.
So question so like my first question is, how do you build like your trust and rapport with like any sort of athletes that you work with or any sort of people that you work with?
Okay, nice. Actual coaching question. So I think it comes with a few things. One part is just absolutely time. Sometimes people need to see you demonstrate your ability over time. And being confident is one thing. So don't be too worried about things. Make sure you're clear with things. And welcoming question, just giving respect, I think, goes both ways. I think with athletes especially, they can have a bit of an ego. They want to make sure they're doing the right thing. They can maybe challenge you a bit. If you can walk the walk, first of all, you have to be the best shape of all time. But if you've actually had experience of lifting or being strong or being fit, that's a huge thing in your credit. And outside of that, delivering consistently, explaining things as well, being able to tell people why they're doing things builds a lot of trust in my experience. Some people want to be told just what to do and they're happy to do it. Other people are a bit unsure. They may think you don't know all your stuff. Maybe they think they know more than you. And if you can explain things to them, why they're doing things, and break it down, make it clear so they can understand what the goal is all the way through. And I suppose a part of that is communication, isn't it? It's just being absolutely clear with people. That builds a lot of trust with athletes, in my experience. Any client as well. I don't know if Coach Closet wants to talk about clients for nutrition or anything, but for athletes and being training clients, I think demonstrating your value, showing people what they're doing, explaining why, and then delivering results. If people can trust you, they know if you do X, you'll get Y out of your advice. That builds a lot of trust over time.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like, if you say you're going to do something, you do it, and make sure that you listen to your clients and that you take them seriously, and that you're not asking things of them that you know they don't want or like that are contrary to their goals. And I'm not in athlete training, but I'm more in patient training. But my general guiding line is that people will not care how much you know until they know how much you care. So listen to people and empathize and show them that you understand what they're going through and what they want and why that's important to them. Because then it'll be much easier for them to do as you say, because they understand that, okay, he actually gets why I'm doing this. That should probably help.
Blackout left us, invite back up. I think he accidentally left the call. Did you get the invite back in there?
All right, sorry
There we
about
go.
that. I'm on a military base right now, and the Wi-Fi kind of sucks.
No worries. No worries, man. Was that helpful to you?
Yes, and then another question I have is,
For sure.
how do you integrate like injury prevention, recovery, and long-term sustainability into your coaching? Because a lot of what I do also is I help military members I'm currently serving aside with that have musculoskeletal issues or that dealt with combat injuries. So part of it is maintaining my physical job in the military as well as helping other people in better shape for like our military fitness tests and recovery for whatever physical activities we do.
Okay, wow, that's super impressive, man. Sounds like you're doing a lot. So I'm not a physiotherapist. I'm a fitness coach, personal trainer. What I do for injuries is whenever you start training someone, we have a full assessment if they have any injuries, pre-existing problems, and then we figure out how to work around them, basically. When people have injuries, again, I'm not a medical professional, so I can't treat them with that. But I find if you have the training to avoid big issues, for example, shoulder issues, people may have an issue with a barbell pressing. We can work around that with dumbbells, we can work around it with machines, and then working to strengthen the supporting muscles around it. So if they have like an issue with the knee, I like to focus on strengthening the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the calves, building all muscles and stability around a joint or an injury, I think is a great way to go into it. I recommend people actually working with a physiotherapist if they have a real problem. But if you can work them, especially warm up the area, some areas need more warm up. Maybe they'll have to do extra reps for a warm up set for bench press. Maybe they'll have to do extra warm up for squats. And it also comes down to some exercise ordering times. So if they're doing a lot of leg training and they want to do squats, but they have a knee injury, doing something like leg curls beforehand can be a really great way to drive some muscle and blood into the muscles and prepare the joints for those loads. So it will depend on the severity. I honestly don't have experience any with serious injuries, which I'm sure you may do. Maybe you can advise me on that actually. But being aware of the injuries is the most important thing. Strengthening around it and consulting professionals as appropriately.
All right, thank you. And I can definitely understand like the issues with that recovery as well, because even I was on mission at one time where I tore my Achilles. I've had to do similar things for myself to get back into fitness, which I'm doing pretty good at least. And my final question is, how do you approach nutrition coaching for like different people? And what do you think are the most common nutrition mistakes that most people do that hold back their progress?
Okay, awesome. Toxic, over to you, man, as nutritionist, Stavros.
Oh yeah. So this is a big one. Like I would say,
I like it.
I forgot, or I'll go back to your first part, but I think in nutrition, as it is in training, is that both nutrition and training are slow processes. Like they take time to develop. They take time from you start your first curl or whatever until you see your arm getting bigger. So a lot of people are impatient and they want to get results really quickly, which I mean, I can't blame them for that, but so they tend to start to want to optimize everything and usually optimize things past the point of where it's worth for them to spend their energy and their resources. I'm guessing that in the armed forces, you're not shy to, let's say, eating enough food to performing well on missions. And a lot of people, when it comes to training and exercise, could also benefit from being told that, yeah, you know what, if you're training to perform well, then that should also influence your eating. So you should make sure to eat enough to perform well in the gym as well. And most people, or at least some people, I guess, they want everything at the same time. They want to look really well and perform really well at the same time, and while optimizing every single micro issue in the book, which usually isn't really easy to do. So I would say a part of helping people with their nutrition is to manage their expectations. So say, okay, right now you are rehabbing a busted knee or a torn arm or whatever, and you're not going to be as active doing as much stuff as you were when you had both your feet, or what, I'm just thinking of examples here. So you're not going to be able to, you have to adjust how much you eat. Or if you're going to go through a really intensive training program, then you're going to have to eat more in order to get the results at the appropriate pace. But certainly being impatient and over optimizing things are getting caught up on on the smallest details before the basics are done is a big one, at least in my experience. What was the first part of your question again?
The first part of my question was, so how do you individually approach nutrition coaching for different clients without taking over personal choice and identity with what they want to have?
Sure, I can touch that one quickly if you want to. All right. So as a personal trainer, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a trained nutritionist, so I don't prescribe exact foods to people. That's not something I can do. So it really works well in some ways because I can give examples and samples of food. So just to break down my process, we'll start with someone, assess their needs, we'll give them a full breakdown, and then we'll work out the calories they need, the protein, and then we'll work to balance the fats and the carbohydrates as appropriate after that. I do find most people perform better with more carbohydrates than fats. I think fats, once you hit the minimal fats, is sufficient for most people. So within that, giving people control, empowering people to make choices, I think is really good. If you give people options to choose from, it's much better than saying, just if you hit someone and say, right, I need you to eat 150 grams of protein, they'll probably look at me like I've got 3 heads and say, what the hell does that look like? But if I give them examples for servings, so it's like, say, a cooked chicken breast, if you have, say you're American, say 6 ounces of chicken breast, it's got X amount of protein in it. This amount of fish has this much protein in it. This amount of pasta has this much carbohydrates in it. Give people options to choose from, and that way they can actually choose. I guess if you're on a military base, you made your food catered, so maybe you've got less options. Maybe you can't weigh things out. We can look at things like, say, a palm size, how protein serving should be, size of your palm. That much meat should be a serving of protein. That gives people a way to look into it and track it themselves, and giving people a choice within, not just open-ended. Because if I say eat what you want, people will get paralyzed by it and think, oh my God, I have to eat super healthy things all the time. If I say, right, 20% of the time, 80% of the time, eat good foods, 20% of the time, eat whatever you want. I just ate my burger and fries on stream and I'm in pretty good shape. And then I would say, from each meal, try to make it up from protein, carbohydrates, and some vegetables. Here's what a serving may look like. What would look good to you? And give them options through that. If you give them something to choose from to start with, I think people might do much better and they feel more empowered by that. Telling them too prescriptively, I think, can be quite constricting, and people don't like that. I think people do better when they empower to make their own choices and learn from it and think about their diet more. If they get told what to eat through the gram, it feels like you're being told what to do, and it's not very fun. It makes you feel like it's a chore. But if you give people options and the ability to make their own choices, I think, and give them that knowledge, they make much better choices and enjoy the process, and they're much easier, much better clients as well. They get much better results.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for all that. That's really good info.
Can I make a quick addition to that?
For sure.
Of course.
So I would say that, well, Chris, as usual, hit his nail on the head. I generally try to. My first thing when I have a patient who wants my feedback on their diet, I generally ask, well, what do you want? Like, I try to get them involved in and try for them to take control of their situation, and ask, okay, what goals are you looking to achieve? Right? Because not everyone wants the same thing, and not everyone likes the same food, or not everyone likes to eat the same way. And so if you come to me and say, you know what, I hate eating breakfast, but I love me some big lunch, then I say, well, okay, then let's keep on doing what works, and let's work together and see if we can find some things that you might adjust. Like, for example, if you're having a big lunch, make sure that most of the plate is vegetables and not deep fried chicken or whatever. Let's make sure that based within the structure that you're already living in, that if you had to change one thing in your diet, what would be a good place for you to start? And most people will have some idea of, we do know what we are eating to a certain degree, so they will, well, maybe I could cut back on the soda, or maybe I could have 2 Snickers instead of 5, or maybe I could do this or that instead of this. And then you say, yeah, that's a really good suggestion. Well done, we'll start there. And you let them be a partner in this, and not okay, now you're going to do as I say. Because then the spikes get out and people get defensive and they get tired, and you go in and standing there and sort of pushing people to do what you tell them to 24/7 is not sustainable.
Or the party.
Yeah. unless you can back it up with physical violence, which have been told you can do in the military, but only to a certain only to a certain extent. So,
all right. Yeah, so that does answer my question because so my actual job in the military, I deal with like chemical weapons and chemistry, but my secondary job is working at the H2F, which is like a holistic health and fitness, which is like nutritional fitness, physical fitness, sleep recovery. So we got like a lot of different side things that we do. And yeah, we can force people to actually what they eat and work out, which is probably the only benefit of it. But the other of it is when you have to force them to do it, then they're less likely to do things on their own. And I've seen a lot of soldiers do negative things on their own time.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you control them within a certain time, but then they're going to act out the rest of the time. Sorry, I may be wrong, but did you say about the main issues with diet before or problems with health and nutrition? Did you mention that before?
Yes. What's like the most common mistakes and all that people do when focusing on their own nutrition?
Sure. So we'll just quickly, because I feel like we've answered your questions very long form. So I find with clients, people will either be too strict and not eat enough calories, and they think everything has to be super clean. They have to have, nothing but chicken, broccoli, and rice, and they end up, one, being very miserable, and second, falling off the wagon in a serious way and binging and often just turning away from fitness for a long time. They get totally switched off, and also leads to things like eating disorders. So being too anal about the diet, focus on being too super clean all the time is the first biggest mistake, I think. Second one I will say is not getting enough fiber. People always get enough protein in if they're into lifting, but they don't get enough fiber in. So if you can get at least 30 grams of fiber in every day, that's going to be fantastic for everything, basically. It'll be better. And as a side of that, not getting enough vegetables in, even if it's just some, wilted baby spinach every day, getting some greens in 2 or 3 times a day is going to be a massive difference. Guys are always easy to eat loads of steak and chicken breast and rice and stuff all day, but getting some proper vegetables in makes a big difference as well. Those are my 3. I'm trying to limit it to 3 so we don't take too much of your time. Toxic, your time.
I would say failing to, one is over focusing on the things that are too small. The second thing would probably be to not have a plan for what they're going to do. You want to gain weight? Okay, how? I'm going to eat more. Okay, eat more of what, when, how much. Try to put things down on paper and describe how you're actually going to achieve your goals. And then thirdly is that I guess you'll appreciate this, no battle plan survives the first meeting with the enemy. It's a saying I've been told. And it's going to be the exact same way with your clients eating. And like, oh, well, I have this nice dieting plan, but oh shit, suddenly, there's a party or there's a birthday or there's some changes in the guard schedule or A, B, C, D, and E. If you don't have a plan for what you're going to do when things don't go according to plan, you're going to fall off and you're going to shit the bed and you're not going to get back on. So having a plan for what to do and having a plan for what to do when things go south. If you have those, you'll have way higher chances of making a sustainable change.
All right, thank you. You guys are the best.
No problem, man. We appreciate you. And anytime you have more questions, happy to talk to you. Really good conversation with you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you again.
Take it easy. Stay safe.
Perfect. Thank you very much, mate. I really do appreciate those questions. Very good high-level questions. Just quick ad break before we get into things. Guys, these guys have been supporting you, answering all your questions, going above and beyond. So this is me petitioning for them. Vote for Chris, vote for Toxic for your 2025 MVP. So make sure to vote for these guys. They've been absolutely amazing. Doing the podcast, helping in text questions. Sorry, Jaime. Unfortunately, it's only people who've won MVP throughout 2025 that can be part of the nominees. Obviously, you can vote for anyone that you want. That was very salty. That's okay. Hey, mate, I don't control the votes. I don't control the votes. I don't need one more person mad with me, please. So just vote for the people who you like. Just make sure to, because sometimes people always like to do the it's just a vote and they don't care about it, but secretly when they log on, they just click on it and just say, okay, it's gone up. So it helps them. It makes them seem seen and makes them seem appreciated. So please make sure to vote for Toxic and vote for Chris and anyone else who you want to vote for. But I do think that these guys do dedicate a lot of time, because this is most definitely iTicket coaching, completely free, and they're doing it from the kindness of their hearts. Another ad break, just so I don't glaze them too much. Remember, guys, it isn't Strike Force. It isn't Strike Force. It is Strength First. Make sure to support Chris STR first on all platforms. As he's supporting you, make sure to reach out to him and support him as well. As you can see, this is him deadlifting 300 kg. Thanks, Blackout Method Fitness. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate you. Cool. Oh yeah, Toxic. If you're wait, then what was Toxic's rhyme again?
Oh, come on,
You've had weeks. No.
I want it to be something that, like the Strike Force. I want it to be something that just rolls off. If you're feeling like you're getting sick.
You were so stuck on that first bit. I think that needs to change. I think that's the issue.
If you're feeling like you're getting sick, don't worry. Don't panic. You can always trust on Toxic. Jive, hey, I've not forgotten about you, mate. He's always on. Well, he's not on time today. He's always on time.
No.
He clearly loves this rhyme. He's the best bodybuilder
of all time.
Oh.
You shout out to Jive. Oh, okay, that one rolled off the tongue.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
What's up, Jime? Apologies for you, Jime. How you doing, man?
But,
I'm doing good.
Dude, the marketing.
I hit legs earlier. I tried
that
that somersault squat on the Smith. You know what I'm talking about? Where you put the bar on your upper thighs. It was okay. I don't think I mastered the form yet, but I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Nice.
On the Smith machine.
Nice. Also, guys, check out Jime, because his actual social media is actually really good as well. Do check out Jime stuff.
Leans _ gains.
How do we do not have a Jime command? I think we have Toxic. Hey, work in progress.
I'll put my IG in the chat.
Yeah, do post your stuff, because Jime stuff's actually some really good form videos and just general workout videos as well, and some posing as well. So do check out Jime stuff, guys.
Yeah, that's my IG. I just put it in the chat.
And what do we need
TikTok as well?
What do we need to put for you, Toxic? We need to sort out your command. Your Discord name, right?
If you're feeling sick.
Yeah, if you're feeling sick, yeah. No worries. We'll get all of that sorted out in the loyal members channel or whatever. Cool. So we do have people who are raising their hand. There is a guy who did wait for a long period of time and he left. Osina. Hello?
Thank you for your patience, guys. We are trying to get to your questions. Sorry, we do yap on a bit, but you do all get our time when you are on the questions. So do please wait and be patient. We got you.
Vlad has been waiting for a while. Sorry, mate, I didn't even notice. Vlad, feel free to ask your question.
Oh, what's good?
What's up, man? How you doing? Food looks
good,
great.
you guys? Anyways,
doing well. Hungry now, seeing your food.
Yeah. So whatever the fuck. Sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to remember. So 20 minutes ago, we were talking about carbs, right? Or even longer. But I was looking at my bread loaf, and I think you mentioned something about fast carbs, slow carbs, and I'm just wondering. I mean, I know it's drinking juice for carbs is not good. It's not gonna give me as much energy as eating rice. Because I eat rice and I know that, but what's the difference? Say if I got juiced from an orange, or I'm eating an orange, how does that affect me? Or I got sweet potatoes here and I got a bread loaf, and I know if I'm just eating straight bread all day, I'm probably going to be lower energy or feeling shittier than if I'm actually eating rice or sweet potatoes or other shit. And I don't mean bread that's ultra processed. I mean actual bread.
Yeah. Proper bread, yeah. I'll let Tox handle this because he's the ideal person for it, but I will quickly say that eating food we say about GI and stuff, but that's eating food by itself, and hopefully you'll eat, like you said, not eating just bread all day. Hopefully you'll be eating food in combination. Toxic, over to you, man. It's all you.
So, as in, like, if we zoom far enough out, like, carbohydrates are basically nature's way of storing excess energy in plants, right? Because if you go out in the field and you see something growing, that thing knows that, okay, it's sunny now, but in like half a year, it's going to be darkness and cold and snow. So if I'm going to have a chance of growing up something next year, I need to store that energy somehow and that I can use it for later. And we have 3 types of carbs, or all carbs you put into your body, no matter what type they are, eventually everything gets turned into sugar, into glucose. That's what, which then is simple enough that the muscles can use for work. But we have three main different types of carbs, and they differ in terms of how much work the body has to do to break down the carbs into glucose. So the simplest type would be Coca-Cola or sugary drinks, because that sugar is already dissolved out, it's already broken down, so the body doesn't have to do anything for you to you just drink it and it gets absorbed and you have energy really quickly. That's why you get this instant sort of energy if you're having, let's say, a Coca-Cola or an orange juice, because it's really quick. Whereas then you have then you have starch, which you can find in, let's say, in vegetables like carrots and potatoes. You can eat those raw, right? Raw potato doesn't really taste well, but you can do it if you want to. Then you're gonna have to chew a bit more, and you're gonna have to work your jaw, get that jaw maxing going on, and then you have to also digest the food. So you have to sit in your stomach a while, let the stomach acid work on it, and let it go through your guts, and then eventually it'll turn to basically like this sugar-rich soup that'll be absorbed by your guts, and then at the top end you have fiber. Now, fiber takes a lot of time to get broken down. So you said you eat rice, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, rice, fruits, vegetables, like all this stuff.
Have you ever eaten oatmeal, or let's say whole
oatmeal, buckwheat? Like
so
cream of wheat, whatever it is.
If I give you a bowl of, let's say, cooked rice or rice porridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
You eat that and you're full for maybe like half an hour, because it's already cooked, it's already processed into soup, so it'll be very easy for your body just to move it along into your guts where it'll be absorbed. Whereas if you eat stuff with more fiber, your body will need a long time to break it down. It will sit in your stomach longer because it needs more time to process. So you'll be full for longer, and the energy will take longer getting from your mouth into the blood.
So it's like slow release carbs, so you get energy further all day.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
If I'm going to do a really hard, intensive workout, I would maybe try to get some slower carbs, whole grain bread, for example, or oatmeal earlier in the day, like for breakfast or lunch, and then maybe if the workout is dragging on really long and I'm not slowing down, then I might go and have, like, say, some chocolate milk or some sugary soda or something, just to get that. It'd be a little bit of extra intra-workout nutrition going. But if I were to do, let's say, a run, like one of those crazy people in chat who go on ultra marathons and stuff, then I would not say,
Ranch, we see you.
Yeah. Then I would not stop mid-race and like have this huge bowl of oatmeal, because that would simply be too slow. I would need like sugar directly, straight into the bloodstream. So everything ends up as sugar, but we should. We should try to focus on carb sources that are not super slow all the time, but make sure that it's reasonably slow as much as we can.
Okay. And another little follow-up question, specifically for like after workouts, I hear a lot that you want to be having carbs, fast carbs. I think you guys mentioned today, fast carbs after workout. I understand for like replenishing energy levels, but does it really matter if I have it? Like, is it going to be any difference if I have like 3 hours later or something?
So there's two answers. One is yes and one is no. In the bigger picture, no. If you get nutrition during the day, within the 24 hours, it's fine. However, more research is showing there is definitely benefit to having some fast carbohydrates, which could be juice, it could be some white rice, it could be anything like that, and some protein directly after a workout. This is because what the fast carbs do, the glucose, it shuttles the protein to the muscles. It gets the system faster to recover from this muscle building stimulus, the mechanical tension. So there will be a small benefit from having fast carbs and protein directly after a workout. And I try to do that. I do think that makes a bit of a difference in muscle building. I think it's probably more important if you're cutting though. If you're trying to a period of dropping weight, dropping fat, I think having carbs around your workout is probably most important thing to do for that. So obviously you probably have lower carbs and calories in general when you have a going cut, but having simple carbs before and after a workout is going to be really important if you still want to be building muscle during a cut.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, one more question, and it's not related to carbs, it's related to protein. About like, I don't know, 10 years ago, I was eating like straight protein with no carbs and running on energy from that. Yeah, so I know it's not good.
We've been there.
Pleasant, but how does that even like work? What does protein get broken into? Does it also get broken into sugar at that point? I just don't get as much protein for what it's actually, generally supposed to be used for, like repairing you.
Yeah. Contoxic, give it the full proper explanation for it. But TLDR, yeah.
So when we're talking about protein needs, right, we're basically saying, okay, assume that we work out really hard. How much protein do I need to add to make sure that all the muscle building processes that I've told to start by lifting all these heavy weights, they need some fuel to repair my body. And then in addition to that, of course, my heart needs some protein to repair itself, to keep itself healthy. I have skin. Well, I used to have hair, but protein is a lot of different things in the body. So when we look at, if you give your body more protein than it needs for rebuilding muscle and rebuilding hair and etc., it's not gonna say, oh well, I don't need any. It's not gonna build more muscle just because you give it more protein than it needs, right? Because muscle is very expensive to build. It requires a lot of hard work to build. That's why we take years getting big for most of us. So it's not going to throw it out either, because it's already spent a lot of time and energy digesting the food. Like you've hunted down the animal you just killed, and you've sweated, you've worked out an appetite to kill it. So what it's going to do is that, okay, well then we're going to break down this protein into the amino acids, which is the fundamental building blocks of protein. There are about 21 of them, and 11 of them are essential. That means we need them from our diet, and the rest is basically we can make them ourselves. Some of these amino acids can also be broken down further into intermediaries in the processes that turn carbs turn sugar into energy. So if you have more protein than you need, then eventually your body will simply break them down into sugar, into energy. So and then the leftovers from all that, which is basically, I don't know how much point there is in me rambling about like biochemistry in chat, but in every amino acid there's an amino group. That's where the name comes from, and this has nitrogen in it. And so when we break down amino acids, we end up with a large surplus of nitrogen, and this can be really can be really toxic if the amount is right. So the body has kidneys, and the kidneys want to shuffle these out as urine. So if you eat too much or more protein than you need to build your muscles, then it will break down the amino acids into energy, and then you'll piss out the excess nitrogen afterwards.
So it stresses your body. Kind of.
Yes and no. I mean, it's not nothing, right? It's something it has to do, but the kidneys are extremely efficient at what it does, and can be and will easily adapt to whatever you give it. I've seen studies of people eating not 1 gram per kilo, not 2, not 3, but 4 and 5 grams per kilo, which is like insane amounts that you cannot physiologically reach unless you're living off of whey protein. And they had no problem. The exception to this is, I think it was like 1 or 2 or 3, or in one case like 6 months. But these kinds of studies are hard to do long term.
Yeah.
But the main exception, of course, if you have some sort of kidney issue, like a pre-existing kidney disease of any kind, then you might want to avoid shoveling in a truckload of protein, because that can, then your kidneys' ability to adapt is impaired, and so you can make your kidney disease worse. But then at that point you're on dialysis and you're having a close and working relationship with your nephrologist and your doctors. So that's not going to apply to anyone accidentally. You'll know when that happens. So is eating high protein bad for you? No. Can you get kidney damage if you're healthy? I've never heard of this. I mean, if you go completely off the wall with like 10, 20 grams of protein per kilo, technically there's a possibility, but I don't think you will.
It's extremely unlikely.
Yeah, and I think for most people, once you get like a reasonable amount of protein, like around 1.5 to maybe top of 2 grams per kilo, then you're good. Right? If you need more energy, then just focus on the more carbs, especially carbs with more fiber in it, because I guarantee you're not eating enough vegetables.
Oh, I'm not eating a lot of fiber. I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nailed it.
I know.
You can eat more protein. But it's more efficient to get actual carbohydrates. It's more tasty as well. No one really wants to eat chicken breast all day, no matter what they say. Get some micronutrients in. But thank you for the questions, lads. Very good questions.
Struggle, but yeah. Thank you for the answers. It was very informative.
Great to talk to you. Always see you being active in chat as well. So good to have an actual chat with you as well.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Vlad. I really do appreciate you. Just to quickly speed things along, we are getting to the end of the podcast, so we're taking final questions. We still do need to play that game. Oof. What do we do? Do we play the game now? Or no? What do we do? We could replay it.
No, man, it's your podcast.
So there's basically this game, and I'm certain you guys have seen it all over TikTok and Instagram. So I decided to make my own, and I just wanted to see if Chris and Toxic or Jime could do it. So it is.
Oh God, what the fresh hell is this?
Yeah, man, it's this. So all you have to do, I can screen share if it's easier for you guys.
Alrighty.
The most annoying
thing. It's a quiz.
No, it's not a quiz. You just have to say the equipment names. Nice. Okay, I'll just quickly screen share.
Okay. It says slowly screen sharing. Let's have a look. Okay, right.
Bruh.
And not to be rude, what's the objective or point of this? Just to say it.
It's just for fun, mate. You just live a little. I'm just kidding.
Fun? Fun?
Wait, okay. You guys ready? Who wants to go first? Can you see my screen?
Oh, we can see your screen, yeah.
You know what? Fuck you, Chris. Toxic, do you want to go first?
No, I'm sorry.
Jime, the favorite member in the server. Do you want to go first?
Wait, what's
basically you just have to. No. You just have to say the equipment name. So basically, there's this trend where it's like it's got collars and it's got.
I'll do it for fuck's sake.
Oh god.
I'll do it.
Yeah, like.
Wait, are you ready? Yeah. 3. Can you see my screen?
Who's going? Who's going? Who's doing it?
To go first? Who gets what you have
Chris
to do?
Can go.
Okay, Chris. I guess Chris is the only one who gets it. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. Nah, man. Dumbbell. Dumbbell. I don't know this song. What is this? Kettlebell, barbell, dumbbell, dumbbell.
No, Chris.
I was in his diamonds off.
No, Chris, you failed that miserably. I didn't even think you got past level 2. Who wants to go next?
I
John.
don't know, I got to level 2.
It's kind of lagging out on my end. I think my connection's kind of
bad. Same. Bad connection, lagging, issues. Agreed.
Do you want to have a go, Toxic? It's actually very easy. You just have to say the equipment name. That's it.
Go on then, you do it, AO. You do it then. It's so easy. Give us a demo.
If the limits is level freaking 2, sure. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Then.
Wait, it's not yet. Sorry. Dumbbell.
Oh yeah, it's really easy, mate.
Dumbbell. Barbell, dumbbell.
Okay, I couldn't even see the green.
Barbell, dumbbell. Plates, dumbbell, barbell, plates, barbell, kettlebell, plate. Ease bar, dumbbell, barbell, ease bar, plate, ease bar, kettlebell, plate. Close. See, I did up to at least. Like
okay, so I didn't see the green. I thought it was just the actual thing. I couldn't see the green.
Oh, you have to wait on
beats. I can do that afterwards.
Yeah, I'm saying too.
Okay, Chris, we'll give you.
This is why you need the demo.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll give you another try. Are you ready? So basically, I'll just repeat it again. You guys just have to wait. Can you hear the music as well, or is it just on my end?
Yeah.
You can hear
the music.
And then the green highlights it. I tried to zoom in as much as possible, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I could see it that time. That's fine. Dumbbell. Barbell, dumbbell. Kettlebell, barbell, dumbbell, kettlebell. Plate, dumbbell, plate, dumbbell. Easy bar, dumbbell, barbell, easy bar, plate, bar, kettlebell, plate. That was better.
Yeah, that was better than the first one. I think I did better, but nice try, mate.
Well, you would think that.
I mean, I did make it, so I did have time to practice. If it makes you feel better. Are you ready, John?
I wouldn't do terribly. Yeah, I think guys.
It's kind of like lagging on my end, but I'll try.
Okay, give it a go. You just have to get past level 2. That's all. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Dumbbell. Barbell, dumbbell. Kettlebell, barbell, dumbbell. Plate, dumbbell, barbell, plate. Easy bar, dumbbell, barbell, easy bar, plate, easy bar, kettlebell, plate.
Yeah, that was not too bad.
Pretty good.
That wasn't too bad, mate. Nice try, especially with the lag. Cool. I thought that was fun. Does anybody else want to have a go?
Yes.
Don't worry. If not, we'll just go back to the podcast. I know Toxic secretly wants to have a go, but he's doing that thing where you've got to act mature.
He's hiding it very well. He's hiding it very well.
Yeah, it's like when you go to the amusement park and you want to go on all the rides, but you gotta be chill because there's somewhere it's just kids there. So anyway, cool. Candy asks, how are you doing? Thanks for waiting. Feel free to ask your question.
Hello. Okay, my question. My question is,
Hi.
All right. It's kind of a very broad question. I don't know. Maybe it's not that broad. So can you explain time under tension and what would be what's the best way to utilize it when you're working out?
Okay, time under tension. I'm sure John can chip in for this one, so he's kind of been ready for this. Time under tension essentially is, as it sounds, a time you actually spend lifting. So this is more, it's not really a thing we worry about too much now. But basically it means controlling the weight. So how long are you lifting for? It's a time under tension. The idea is that we used to think more that the eccentric is more important. Having a longer period of lifting is the most important thing. We don't really think that anymore. at the moment our best guess, because it is a guess. All science and lifting is a process and is actually still being worked at as now. We don't have all the answers. No matter how people try to come across, we don't know it all. Is mechanical tension. So once you get the idea to do that is to get the stimulating reps. So in a set of 5, the last 2 sets are hard. Those are the reps that are going to be stimulating the muscle growth. So time under tension isn't really a thing we worry about at this point, but basically how long you're lifting for. Unless I'm completely wrong, Zyme. Did we talk about time under tension much anymore, Zyme?
No, that checks out. Yeah, time under tension is like, I guess, a measure of like how like long the muscles under tension, right? But it's not the main perpetrator growth from what we understand now. So yeah, it's kind of like can be overstated at times. So
yeah, I won't worry about it too much. As long as you've got some lifting part and you're training hard, getting some reps that you're working hard to lift, and the reps slowing down a bit because you're pushing hard, and you having involuntary muscle lifting slow down, that means you're on the right track. I won't worry too much about time under tension.
Okay, so when you say
good question though.
So when you say muscle lifting slowdown, so you mean like what is it? The negatives on the way down or something?
So no, I didn't explain that well. It says involuntary. It's not. This isn't a technical term for it. But basically, it's involuntary slowdown in the lifting phase. So maybe doing a set of 5. The first 2 reps are really fast. Then you get to the 3rd rep, it's still fast. The 4th rep, you're slowing down. And the 5th rep, you're really slowing down just about getting to the rep. So it's when you're still trying to push as hard as possible, but the reps are going up slower. That's
right. Okay, yeah, that definitely happened to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Well, I need another question. That's my other question.
You don't need it, but that was a good question, and it's good to bring things up because time under tension used to be something we used to talk about a lot, and we don't talk about it very much anymore, and that's the reason why. So it's a good question. It's worth asking, absolutely.
Yeah, those are some good questions, mate. If you haven't got any more, I genuinely thought you had a real question. It's all right, mate. The Royal Man. Sorry, what did you say?
Nothing. I'm done.
Nick, appreciate you can do. Appreciate you. Always good to talk to you. Talk to you soon.
Take
it easy.
It's so funny. The 1 week where I'm like, he's like, don't worry. Anyway, yo, the Royal Man 32. Feel free to ask your question, mate.
Hello. I have 2 main questions, but like my I guess main one I've been curious about this whole time. What is the like big difference between like a clean bulk and like a dirty bulk? I hear it talked about a lot, but I don't really understand if it affects your performance or not. So I'm just curious.
Absolutely. So they're kind of terms that don't have a strict definition, but generally a dirty bulk will be eating non-healthy foods associated with like a seafood diet. So you just eat anything, get the calories any way you want. And it's generally associated with a bigger calorie surplus. And a clean bulk could be like a lean bulk or a slow bulk. They're all kind of the same terms. And they're having a calorie surplus, but a small calorie surplus. So maybe 200, 300 calories, trying to minimize fat gain whilst maximizing muscle gain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, awesome. Second question?
Yeah, second one is I am kind of sorry about the background noise. I am a beginner, really, and I'm not sure if I should buy a gym membership or not and spend my paycheck on that, or if I should start working out at home at first. It's kind of confusing because I see different answers all the time, and I'm not sure what I should do.
Yeah, good question. And being a beginner is great. I wish I was a beginner because beginners get to progress a lot faster and build muscle and drop fat at the same time. So really good job starting your journey. It's great. I will say it completely depends on your situations, your circumstances, and also your motivation, really. If you think you can train hard from home and you'll be motivated to do it, that's absolutely great. I know when I started, I was in my cold freezing garage at home with first of all, no dumbbells and then some dumbbells my uncle gave me from the 80s. And I didn't join the gym until I was a couple of years into training. So that can work if you're at home. You get to train whenever you want. You can make your own schedule. You can do it whenever you need to. You can fit it in. The only limit could be the equipment, and it could also be your motivation. Some people find it really beneficial to go to a gym. Maybe if you build it into your day coming back from work, maybe you go before work. It's a great way to make sure you get the workout in. And also some people could be motivated by people around you. If you see other people working out, maybe that's going to help you be more consistent. Maybe it's to make you work harder. So there's not really unfortunately, I can't really give you a train at home, train in the gym answer. I can't give you a direct answer for that. I think it depends on you. I think if you're concerned with money, which is absolutely a reasonable concern, I would say start training at home. See how that feels. If you're enjoying it, if you feel you've been limited by the equipment, you think you do better off with some machines, maybe some barbells, then look into a cheap gym membership or something. But hopefully, AO just posted a beginner's guide to working out at home in the chat you can follow. And there should be some great beginner workouts on there. Does that help you at all? Have I just made it even more muddled and confusing for you?
No, you're good. Definitely. Yeah, because we have 2 gyms around where I live, and one of them is like really cheap and doesn't like have all the nice fancy equipment, and the other one's like $100 a month, and it's like
Yeah,
everything.
that's a tough one. Yeah. Which can be good, but also if it's more of a spa thing, sometimes it's better off having fewer options. Sometimes when you've only got a few options to work on, a few machines, maybe a couple dumbbells, a couple barbells, you just have to work really hard what you have. Whereas if you have the problem of too much choice, you may spend 4 hours in the gym and not end up doing anything because there's too much paralysis by analysis trying to pick the best machine. So I would say just pick the route that allows you to work out the best and focus on your workout. That can be at home, absolutely, or there's nothing wrong with an economical choice for a gym. Like people have built great physiques from home, great physiques in minimal situations. People have built, over their history, people have made great physiques without having a, super fancy gym membership. So don't let it limit you. You can do it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And thank you so much for waiting. I know you waited for a very long time. So thank you. It's really good to have people like you in the community. Have you been here very long?
I've been here for less than a week.
Oh, right. How did you find the community? Did you find it online or did someone recommend you?
Someone recommended me, I think. Like they weren't in it anymore, but they used to be. Not too sure who it was.
Right. Oh, right, cool. Well, that's good. I'm glad there's even people aren't, who left us all good things to say. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Have you joined any channels? Have you talked in fitness at all or off topic or anywhere?
I've talked a little bit. Honestly, I'm a little nervous because, like I said, I haven't really started 100% yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, it's absolutely it's understandable. But really, there's people with all sorts of experience here. There are lots and lots of beginners here as well. So hopefully, you can join the community, ask questions. Like, do you talk to staff? Do you talk to coaches and stuff? We're very happy to help you out. So really good to have you here. Any questions? Do come back and ask it here or in any of the channels. Good to have you here.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, mate. Really good to have you. If you have any further questions, you can also make a question in the questions forum or contact Chris directly. I'm so certainly be here to help you. Or if not, sorry for plugging your DMs, Chris. Cool.
All good.
Next question is Faison. Feel free to ask your question, mate. And thanks for the wait. Oh, Candy has a question. Yo, dude. Go ahead, ask your question. How you doing?
Oh, what's up? Okay, it's been a while since I've been here, but
yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I've just been training well, cause like now it's winter, like I'm just switching to a cleaner bulk. But okay, so it's been about 9 months in the gym now, right? And
nice.
I think I've made pretty good progress, but I think it has significantly slowed down. So I just have a question about that, right? Like, so I think from months 1 to 7 or 8, I was adding about 5 to 10 pounds like every like week or two, like during my cut, right?
You lifts?
Yeah, I lift. I go to the gym. Okay. I do upper lower.
And so then, 10 pounds to the lifts or to the body weight?
To the
lifts, presumably. Yeah. Okay. So just clarify.
Now,
sorry.
Yeah. Now it's gone down to like 5 to 10 pounds per month, and because of that, I just have a question. Like, how much does it change over the years?
Yeah, no, really good question, honestly. And if you've been beginner gains are fantastic, as everyone else knows. But when you start lifting for the first place, you're going to gain much faster. You're going to gain tissue and muscle faster as well. If you're still putting on 5 to 10 pounds of total lift a month, that's still a great rate of progress. I think you can sustain that for maybe an extra 6 months, 9 months. And beyond that, as an intermediate lifter, as an advanced lifter, if you've been lifting for well over a decade and a half, like I have, you're lucky to add a rep to a exercise over a month. Like it definitely slows down, and that's when the the habits stick in. I mean, the consistency make a big difference. Yeah, you can still make a progress for a while. If you're still gaining body weight as well, it makes a difference. But I think you can probably gain at the similar rate you are at the moment for an extra 6-9 months, and then maybe you're in the tough period when you made most of your beginner gains and it gets really into the grind. And that's when you see what you're made of. Once you get out of the beginner phase, that's when you really see what you're made of.
I see. Yeah, thank you. I also have like another question. So
yeah, for sure.
It's about my friend and it's about smoking. So can I ask that or
okay.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so my friend has recently started vaping. I told him not to, right? And I'm saying like, hey, it could possibly affect your gains, right? So
for sure.
does it affect gains, and how so does it do this?
Okay. Yeah. Well, good idea trying to get your friend away from vaping. It's never going to be a good thing. Obviously, in the long term, it's going to damage the lungs, of course, big issues, respiratory problems. And in the short term, it's going to damage it as well. So if you're vaping, it's going to affect your lungs. It's going to cause damage there, which is going to make you, well, general respiration problems will be harder. You can be more out of breath, and you're not going to be able to push as hard in your muscle building sets. So in a pure state of like lifting ability, it's going to limit your ability to train really hard. It's also going to make it hard to recover between sets. You're not going to be as efficient with your oxygen getting to your system. You're not going to be as efficient clearing the waste away from your muscles after sets. So you're going to have longer to recover, not just in the workout, but between workouts as well. So in terms of your actual, just pure muscle gains, I'm not even talking about health here, but muscle gains, vaping is definitely going to negatively impact your ability to build muscle.
Okay. I'm gonna try to convince him, because he's like, hey, it doesn't matter. Like all these like influencers are smoking. Well, like, it really does matter.
Yeah.
So
It does make a difference, honestly. It does make a difference. And again, some people get into lifting for the short term and they give up when it gets hard. So if he's going to be lifting 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, that's when it's really going to kick in. Because vaping, whilst it seems safe and fun in the short term, we haven't even really begun to do the studies for the actual harm it does long term. So it's not going to help him in the long term or the short term at all. So if you can convince him, you're being a good friend. I try to do that.
yeah. Also, just like one more question. It's about like
For sure.
competing.
Yep.
So I want to compete someday. Right now I am 17. I just turned 17. And how long does it usually take for people to start competing as like a natural?
Okay, well, we actually have a competitive natural bodybuilder on the panel. So, Jaime, did you hear that question? You have to chip in. This is all your field, man.
Yeah, I heard the question. So I would say like there's no set amount of time people should lift before competing necessarily. But the thing is, the longer you have been lifting, generally the more lean mass you're gonna have on a natural frame, and therefore have a better chance at competing at a high level if you're conditioned enough and you have your posing down pat and stuff like that. I would suggest most people would train for probably like 3 years before thinking about competing. I think 3 years you could focus on just putting on lean mass, and then from there maybe consider doing a prep. But that being said, everyone's different, right? But there's a lot to learn about lifting and weight training regardless, that someone can do in their first 3 years of lifting before worrying about the stress of like competing and stuff like that, right?
Sorry, Jaime. I want to cut in really quickly. And this may be phasing, so maybe you're correct. Is this to do a show and just to compete, or is it to join a show and win, or is it to join a show and win like a natural card? Like, what's your goal for the first show? Would you want to go just to show off, just to see how much developed you've got? Because that made shape Jaime's answer. That's all.
Yeah. I want to win a pro card as a natural, because right now like I'm at around 170 and 13% body fat, so and like 5'9". So I'm just like thinking like, oh, maybe I can compete in like a year, hopefully. Like,
Jaime, does that shape your answer?
Yeah, that would sound reasonable in that context. Yeah, I think it would be reasonable.
I see.
Yeah, that would be reasonable. But for most people, like, yeah, again, it's a case scenario basis to be honest with you.
I see.
And to quickly add, I'm sure you said 13% body fat, which is great to have that estimate, but I'm sure Jaime will agree with me when almost everyone is much fatter than they think they are, and they'll weigh a lot less on stage. I know TNF recently posted something about average weight for competitors based on height. I didn't see what the actual numbers were, but generally people will be a lot lighter when they step on stage in competitive condition than they think. Unless I'm wrong, Jaime.
I see.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was on stage at like 167 at 5'7" for the last show I did, which was still pretty heavy for that height, but like at an actual show. But
huge. That's huge.
I see. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll probably get like a actual test, like for the body fat and everything.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah. Again, I'm
sure-
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm not trying to put you down. I'm just saying most people, I know myself, definitely been through a process. You think, oh, I'm probably about 10% body fat. When realistically, you're probably close to 16 or 17. And I know everyone makes that mistake and it's a big ego hit. So I'm just trying to look out for you and realize that, you know, it's a long journey. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
you're doing
yeah.
really well. And I'm really impressed by your consistency so far, man. It's really good to have you, you know, showing up in the gym and showing up asking questions as well. It's good to talk to you.
All right. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Take it easy.
Thank you very much, mate. Really do appreciate you. Candy asked, feel free to ask your question. And thanks for the wait.
Okay.
Also, sorry, mate. Didn't mean to do that on purpose. Shout out to Toxic and Mini Toxic. I didn't know Toxic was like a grown in the best possible way. But it makes sense because he's so. I've always known, like, although he's not a staff, he's always had like this X factor in how he handles the community. Where
this X factor. Oh, write that down, Toxic. Write that down as a compliment.
Yeah, mate. You know how rare it is to find, bro. I've had staff members who are like, they don't even know how to handle freaking
Toxic for staff. Toxic for staff.
Bro, this guy just always. No more staff members for now. But,
Who said that?
But Toxic, happy that everything's going well, mate. And Chris doxed you, by
Very
the way.
gorgeous.
I don't think you gave permission, but Chris posted your Instagram. And it had your name on it.
No, I posted it earlier. So like
okay.
If you check 2 posts above it, he actually gave what it was. I just put the Instagram link, but yeah, I see how it is. It's the Glazed Toxic Roast Chris Hour. It's fine. Every 9 to 11 p.m. apparently on a Saturday. It's fine.
Bro, I literally have glazed everyone in this chat. You know what? I'm just gonna learn to keep my mouth shut. That's my my motto for 2025.
No shot.
Resolution.
No shot.
Candy, feel free to ask your question. And I do have a quiz version because Toxic, I do want you to play one of those games. Just for fun. Sorry, Candy, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So you know how with bulking, I think Chris has said it's supposed to be like the aim is to gain 0.75 or 1 pound per week, right?
In that window, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say if you were gonna cut, is there a certain like amount you're trying to hit when you're cutting, like a certain limit?
Okay, yeah, for sure. So it'll depend where you start from, and it'll depend where you'll end up. So if you have a lot of excess body fat, you can cut faster. But generally, we don't like to lose more than 1% of your body weight per week. As a rule.
Okay. If you cut too fast, are you like at risk of losing muscle?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people will lose muscle as fast as they think they will. But if you're losing, you know, if you weigh 150 pounds and you're losing 5 pounds a week, it's not going to look very good, is it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Another excellent question from Candy.
Okay, so wait, you said it was you were aiming to lose 1%. That's right, 1%.
Yeah, if you're going for a reasonable, slow, and sensible cut, especially if you get leaner as well, it's probably going to slow down a little bit. Some people do like to talk about like mini cuts or like more extreme cuts for a shorter period, but people are generally more comfortable and more sustainable to lose fat at around 1% of body fat a week, especially if you're not being supervised by a coach directly.
So would that be like 500 calories, like on a cut?
Yeah, approximately 500 calories. Assuming you're not going to have a calorie deficit and suddenly stop moving, which is what people sometimes do. So people don't lose weight on 500 calories deficit a week. It's because they sit around on their ass instead of moving around because they're tired, and that can make the deficit smaller, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, like that would happen to me on my off days at work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
yeah,
do
that happens. Yeah, activity changes. Yeah, so being aware of that is important.
Okay. Well, whenever I start cutting, I'll keep that in mind. I was just thinking.
Yeah, no, good question. And when if that does happen, or when it happens, keep us appraised, and we'll support you through that as well.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Awesome, appreciate you, Candy.
Yeah. And just to quick comment on that, as Chris said, it's if you go by 1% per of your body weight, you'll be able to scale that to your size. So, for example, if you are a man, let's say, and you are 300 pounds, 1% is 3 pounds a week. You know, but if you are a woman, let's say, and you're on the smaller side, let's say you want to go from 55 kilos to 50 kilos, that amount of weight, you're a third of the size. So being in the same size of different, in the same, if a person at 55 kilos would lose 1.5 kilo a week would be insane.
Right.
So
Well,
you skip.
Right, because like when I was 306 pounds, I was dropping like 6 to 8 a week. It was crazy.
Yeah,
but
and it can be at the start. At the start, it can be a lot of water weight, and also it can just be different stomach contents. If you go from eating, 3 or 4 big meals a day to eating 2 small meals a day, you're gonna have less stomach content, so you're gonna get the appearance of losing weight faster as well. And there's lots of water weight as well. When you drop carbohydrates, you drop a lot of water weight as carbohydrates draw in water, so it makes a big difference.
right, water weight is so frustrating because it's because when you binge eat a bunch of sweets, your weight will raise up to like 4 or 5 pounds, and then a couple days pass, and bam, you're back where you started. I don't know. I guess that's water, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, that was my question. Thank you, guys. Done.
Appreciate you, Candy. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much for the really good questions, Candy. You've been killing it. I'm not going to do the poll or ask if Candy should be banned. We all know it should be. And I'm just kidding. Thanks for the question, Candy. Really appreciate you. Low IQ moron. I'm not calling you that. It's your name. So please do not roast me. Feel free to ask your questions, and thanks for waiting patiently, mate. Appreciate you.
Okay, I have like 2 short questions. Basically, like around like 3 years ago, I got super depressed, so I stopped going altogether. And I legit could not eat at all. I lost 30 pounds that year, and I couldn't have gained it back. So when I went back, I started basically like going hard to make up for lost time. And I've been getting like sick from that. So basically, like my questions are, have you heard of that like happening before? And is there maybe a way to like ease into it more so that I stop getting sick?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry you guys are sticking at a hard time. I'm sure doctors can give a good answer for this as well, but yeah, you're not alone for the situation. This happens much more common than people often admit. I'm sure doctors can give you some strategies for mitigating it as well. Toss over to you.
So, as you said, like if depression or any type of thing that happens where you stop eating, of course, your physical capabilities go down. And so then you decide, okay, well, I'm out of it. Now I want to, the common mistake is your mind doesn't really take the journey your body has been into consideration. So, oh, well, now I want to be back to where I was before I got sick. But your body is not the same place. Your body isn't used to the activity. Your body has perhaps also, depending on the speed, lost some muscle mass, or at least lost the being familiar with training. It's not used to being in that kind of environment anymore. So, as you alluded to yourself, the best way, and I see this quite often with cancer patients, which is, I mean, it's not the same example, but they get out of treatment and they say, okay, well, I'm done now. And they don't recognize yet that their body has been through hell. So now they want to go and do PRs again when they've lost like 20 kilos of muscle mass and need a walker to move. And then they want to go and set national records again. So it's the trying to take things a little bit slower than you perhaps would like, and being a little bit more patient with yourself, because muscle after rebuilding back muscle is way faster normally than than building it from scratch. But your body, there is more to you than just muscle. Your body needs to be used to the regular hard activity that training can be, and that can take a while, especially after you've had a rough patch with depression or other forms of non-eating. So, as you said, try to resist the temptation of going hard. Try to write a weekly plan for yourself. Okay, these are the exercises I want to do. I might need to reduce the exercises. I might need to start on the lower level than I would like to, and I would maybe try to increase slower than I should, just for the first few weeks, maybe a month, depending on how your body responds. Because stress, not sleeping, eating, all of these can influence your immune system and make you likelier to get injured, likely to get sick. So the faster you go, the harder you go. It's like trying to race a supercar on no gas. It's not going to end well. So taking a little bit more time than you should, and just take a month, right, and just play it carefully.
Yeah,
it's
I think
probably a good idea for getting your body back on track.
Yeah, I think Toxic really nailed that. And I think going and doing, I think really important for this is, which is going to sound completely contrary to what you want to do, is to leave the gym thinking you can do a bit more. I think that's the best way to approach the situation, because you're going to get much stronger faster than you think. But if you push yourself to the limit every time, that's when you're going to get sick and injured. So this is what I always recommend people to do when they're starting to get into cardio, they have a background in it, but it applies to strength training as well. So anytime in the gym, as soon as I want you to leave the gym and stop what you're doing before it gets hard, which is going to sound like a really terrible thing to do, but this gives you a chance to recover into it, gives you a chance to actually build that strength up, because when you're starting from a very low point, you're going to need less effort to build up than someone at the very top. So if you leave yourself a bit of a gap, that's going to be to recovery, because when you get stronger, it's not just from lifting weights or training in the gym, it's from recovering from that. So give yourself the space to recover, finish a set or a run or whatever you want, and even a walk, anything, with a little more in the tank, thinking, oh, I wish I'd done a little bit more. I think that's the best way to give yourself enough work to grow from and get stronger and get better without burning yourself out. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Thank you guys so much. Oh,
you're very welcome. Do you see another question?
Do you think I should continue going like 5 days per week, or should I like lessen that?
You probably guessed from our facial expressions there. I think you should probably do less than 5 days a week, honestly. I think twice a week is probably a sweet spot to start from. I think 2 days a week, again, it sounds like it's too little, but when you're not starting from zero, you're starting from below zero. So I think if you give yourself 2 times a week to just exercise and again, stop before it feels hard, then you can build up your recovery rate. Then you can build some muscle up, build some work capacity up. And then after maybe 2 or 3 months, work up to a third session if you want. If you like going 5 sessions a week, that's possible in the long term. But in the short term, you need to get back up from below 0 to 0 and then build up beyond there. So I would really recommend 2, ideally 2, but at most 3 sessions a week with at least a day of rest in between.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you do a wellness recovery journey. Can you keep us posted? Let us know how it goes, because we want you to do well and feel better. So let us know how it goes. Good to talk to you again. Really good to talk to you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Low IQ Moron. And do remember, I am not calling you that name. It is your name. It's a nice name to say. Hey, Chris, you Low IQ Moron. No, I'm just kidding. Cool. That is. Do you have anything to say? Oh no, we wanted Toxic to quickly do the quiz. Do we still have time for it? Chris, you can do it as well. So I've been making these, but so I want to do edutainment. Oh wow, Discord just updated. That's interesting. The screen sharing feature. So I'll do this one. We've got more views. Are you ready, Toxic? It's basically meant to be beginner quiz for fitness. If you get any wrong, then mate,
I'm banned.
That's what I mean. That's the X
sure.
factor. It's I can't joke with him. It's like I'm joking with my mom or something. It's like, are you ready? Right. You ready? Go. If it plays.
Who wrote the answers? Who wrote the answers for this is a real question.
Technical difficulties. All me. So hey, if it's wrong,
Girls.
What is a common type of cardiovascular exercise?
B running.
I'm here to phone a friend.
Which nutrient is essential for building muscle?
I think all of them with A proteins.
All of the above.
How many minutes of moderate exercise are recommended per week by health organizations?
I believe it's 150 minutes.
Yeah.
I heard gotta be faster, gotta be faster.
Stand for
A. No, it's B. It's B high intensity.
Language. Also, it's a second language. English second language. Just saying.
Strengthening the core.
B.
What is the primary function of carbohydrates in an athlete's diet?
No. Chris, you're next. Get ready.
What does BMI stand for? Which vitamin is known for its role in bone health? What is the term for exercise that...
It's toxic frozen. Or rifle is.
I think he's frozen. He's just concentrating extra hard.
I was wondering, is he just thinking? I was like, what's going on? We're broken. Cool. We'll do you now, Chris. Toxic, it's alright if you're frozen. Okay. We'll give Chris...
We'll do this and I'll run because I'm cooked. Go on.
No worries. Another 2-hour podcast. Thank you everyone who's joined. Another successful one. We're all amazing. So you ready? 3.
Go.
Having trouble.
What is the term for the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use during
VO2 max.
Exercise?
VO2 max.
Which type of muscle fibers are best suited for endurance activity?
Type 1. A, type 1.
Please God, let him fail. Let him fail.
For high intensity exercise lasting less than 10 seconds.
ATP. A.
In biomechanics, what term describes the time it takes for a muscle to respond to a stimulus?
Ooh, you missed one.
What hormone,
faster.
known as
Go
the
faster.
stress hormone, can affect fat
Cortisol.
storage and muscle
B.
building? Which nutrient plays a critical role in muscle recovery and repair by reducing inflammation?
Nutrient.
Oh, you missed one.
B? Yeah,
you
weird.
missed 2.
It's not really nutrient, is it?
Of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources in the body.
Like D.
Which
I'll give you that.
exercise primarily targets the latissimus dorsi muscle?
Pull down. Pull up. D.
C, but it's alright.
What is the term for a diet that cycles between periods of fasting and eating?
Stupid. IF. D.
Which vitamin is essential for calcium absorption and bone health?
D.
But is not naturally found in most foods?
Oh, it's A. Sorry, it's A. It's A.
Oh,
Oh, it's D. It's
What is
both.
the
It's
term for
both.
the maximum
No
amount of
worries.
oxygen your-
no worries. Thank you for participating
Cool.
in that. I am going to start doing more quizzes like that. I do like the edutainment side of
Come on,
things.
bro.
And I do feel like
Yeah.
I'm giving back to TikTok because this way people can learn, not just meme pages and all these other nonsense that we normally do.
Mhm.
So cool. Thank you very much. How would you rate the quiz? Do you think they were factual? I mean, I did use a lot of...
Mostly. I wasn't trying the nutrient one. I'm not sure that's the right wording for that one, but pretty good, yeah. Pretty good.
Nice. I do
Inflammation
really need-
nutrient one was a bit unsure, but pretty good.
Nice. I really need to go to the loo. Thank you very much, everyone who's joined. You're all absolutely... I'm not going to lie. I've literally drank all of this. Thank you very much, everyone who's joined. You've all been amazing. Huge shout out to Toxic. He's still thinking about the quiz. As you can see, you know, we've got him...
Deep in
starstruck.
thought.
And shout out to Jaime. And remember, guys, it isn't Strike Force. It isn't Strike... What? Did I say it wrong? Remember, guys, it isn't Strike Force.
No, I'm going
it
along
isn't
with
Strike First.
Yeah,
It is Strength First. Make sure to swap Chris SCR first on our platform. Chris, thumbnail. All you have to do is smile. Just do Yeah, you can pose, but just teeth out and smile. That's what you have to do. You have to. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye. Discord podcast.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you all.
Discord friend. Losers. Bye.